Hello guys, and as you can tell, your boy is back making NBA playoff videos. I'll give you my thoughts, reactions, analysis, and a couple predictions of what I think is coming in these playoffs. And I'll try to make this kind of quick because I don't have too much time, and I'm trying to make my videos a little shorter. So let's start with the Western Conference playoffs, and then the East. So let's get into it. So the number one, AC Warriors and Clippers. Incredible comeback in Game 2 by the Clippers. The biggest NBA playoff single game comeback ever, down 31 points. So it was a cool, very impressive comeback. It basically means nothing in terms of this series. Golden State dominated Game 3, basically dominated Game 1. And we're dominating Game 2 before that before they choked that lead away. So I got Warriors in 5. I think this series is over. Like, after what KD did in Game 3. Maybe even go 6, but I'd be a bit surprised. And a little disappointed in Golden State if it does, but they're up 2-1 right now. I think Warriors in 5. They're just too good. Now, my 7 seed Spurs and the Denver Nuggets. As of right now, my Spurs are up 2-1 on Denver. Right now, San Antonio's in control. Whereas in control, and right now we boast the breakout star of the playoffs, Derek White. Now I was at this game. I was at Game 3. He dominated. And for your Spurs fans out there, I have not seen a Spurs player dominate on both ends, offensively and defensively, dominate a series like Derek White has since Kawhi Leonard. And Game 3 was just the pinnacle of that. He was sensational. 26 in the first half, 36 overall. And on defense, he shut down Jamal Murray after he went off in Game 2 to drop 21 points in the fourth quarter. Derek went off, and that gave DeRozan an opportunity because he was struggling in the first half, getting a lot of double teams. Only had 4 points at the half. He missed a lot of shots. But now Derek White was getting those double teams. Derek White was the focus of the defense, allowing DeMar DeRozan to go one-on-one, single coverage. He was sensational, dropped 19 points in that quarter, missed like 2 shots. And he put up 25 for the game, did DeRozan. And right now, on the Spurs bench not performing, Denver, their starting lineup has gone bad. Jamal Murray's just not himself. He's had 1 good quarter of basketball, 11 bad ones. Jokic has been really good, but not good enough. Millsap's been solid. Malik Beasley has been firing from 3, scored 30 points, and 20 points in Game 3. But it's the Spurs series to lose up 2-1. I saw my Spurs in 6, my original prediction. I'm sticking to it. I think if San Antonio wins Game 4 or Game 5, the series is basically over. If we lose both of those games, then I think it becomes a series. But if we win Game 4, it's over. But that's what I have for Spurs Nuggets. Now, Blazers Thunder, and surprisingly, as of right now, Portland up 2-0 over OKC. Biggest reason is Paul George's injury. He is hurt. He has not been himself. And he needs to start firing from 3. He's off from 3-point land right now. He's driving pretty well. Still put up 20-ish points last game in Game 2. But Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum have been sensational. Cantor at that big Game 1. I think this is Portland series to lose up 2-0. I think OKC will make a bit of a comeback, make it a series. I think they win Game 3, and they could win Game 4. But I have Portland in 7. But I'm not really sure. This one's a tough one for me picking the games. But it's Portland right now. I can see Damian Lillard taking his team to the conference finals. I'm not predicting that. I'm not saying that. But as of right now, I think it's Portland over OKC. I'm going with 7 games, but it could be a much shorter series depending on how it's gone so far. Now, Rockets Jazz. Right now, Houston is fire hot. They've been hitting their signature threes. James Harden has played very well in his first 2 games. They're up 2-0 right now in Utah. If I did not mention that earlier, I apologize. and they just been on fire. Good defense, and they've blown them out in 2 consecutive games. And Utah has not showed up. I think they'll take Game 3. I do believe in Utah. They got to second round last year. I think Donovan Mitchell only 15 points in his first 2 games. That's what he's averaging. 15 points per game in those first 2. I think he steps it up in Utah in Game 3. Game 4, I think Houston turns up the dynamite again. I got Rockets in 5, but I could see it's going to my original prediction, which was 6 games. But I think Houston's going to win this. There's no doubt in my mind about that. They've just been so dominant, so much firepower. They've been very impressive. Very impressive against a really good Utah Jazz team. I like this Jazz team. But and they've got good defense. Rudy Gobert, one of the best defenders in the league, if not the best. But I got Houston in 5 as of right now. So Eastern Conference. I'll start with the first one of Bucks Pistons. Not much to say about this. Giannis dominated the first 2 games. Bucks will sweep the Pistons. They're up 2-0 right now. They'll sweep them with Blake Griffin most likely out for the season, out for these playoffs. And not much to say. Milwaukee dominating. If they get healthy, they could go to the finals. And we'll see how that goes. Monitor on Malcolm Brogdon for sure. See if he can come back well, soon, and strong. But so I go for Milwaukee and Detroit. New Raptors Magic. Right now, they're actually playing right now, but I'm not watching the game. I believe it's at halftime right now anyway. But it's 1-1. Magic stole Game 1 as Toronto always loses Game 1s, even with Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. And without DeRozan. With DeRozan, he's up 2-1 on Denver. I just want to throw that in there. But yeah, they lost Game 1. Dominated Game 2. I see them winning Game 3. And they're just in control right now. I think they should be fine against Orlando. I got them in 6 games. They're just too good. They're just too good for Orlando. Good defense, good offense. Best player in the series, best 3 players probably in the series. With Kawhi, Lowry, and Siakam. I got Raps in 6. I think Orlando seals 1 at home with that home crowd behind them. They've been solid at home. Good defense over there. But Lowry's inconsistency, dropping 0 points, 0 of 7 shooting in Game 1 this is a real thing. He has come up small multiple playoff games, and that could keep them from making a good run to the finals. But for the series, I got Raptors in 6. Now Sixers Nets. Philadelphia is back. They're up 2-1 on Brooklyn right now. And Embiid, obviously, he's not healthy. Did not play in Game 3. And we saw the Ben Simmons show in Game 3. He was remarkable, sensational, spectacular. All that you want to throw at him. He had one of the best performances of his young career. His best playoff performance. He was big time. And I've thought this for a long time now. But Ben Simmons could become a lesser Giannis, especially if you get. I don't want Embiid out of there. I know he plays on the pain and all that, but I think Embiid's better than Simmons, so those injury concerns are huge. But I can see him. I don't know if he gets traded or whatever, but I don't know how it's gonna shape out for Ben. But I can see him as being a bit of a worser Giannis. This is an MVP caliber player. I can see. You can already an all-star. I believe in Ben. He's got to work on that shot for sure. Got to work on those free throws. But big performance in Game 3. The first time he's actually showed up big time in the playoffs. He was huge in this game. Without Embiid, massive, very impressive performance from Ben. And Brooklyn too was the best player on the floor easily. Very impressive. Embiid will probably miss Game 4. That's my guess, but he might play. We'll see. So depending on how his health goes, how Ben keeps playing, I got Sixers. I picked Sixers in 6, but I had a hard time picking Sixers in 5 or 6. I'll go 6 because that was my original prediction, but I can see it just being 5 games. They just win these 4 in a row after losing Game 1. Now, last series, Boston up 2-0 over the Pacers. And really, there's two things to say about this. Too much firepower for Boston. With Tatum, Kyrie, Horford, Brown, Hayward, Rozier. Just so much firepower. I like Pacers defense, but they're just too much here. Kyrie was huge in game 2. Tatum got back to his this high level of playing he played with in the last playoffs, actually. Last season's playoffs. He was huge. These two need to be on point for Boston to upset Giannis's Bucks. And I can see it happening. I still have Indy winning a game. I love their toughness. I like Coach McMillan. Really, after all, there's my second point, which I forgot to talk about earlier. They don't have Oladipo. They just don't have enough scoring. And they don't have a star to just put them over the top. But I saw them winning the game. I don't know if game 3 or game 4. They'll win 1 in Indy. So Boston in 5. So that's what I have so far. And to recap my predictions right now, it will be Warriors versus Rockets in second round. I'm talking about right now. So Warriors, Rockets, Spurs, Blazers, Bucks, Celtics, Raptors, and Philly. And the playoffs starting to take fire, starting to get very interesting. And that's what I have for now. And thank you for watching. Love the support. Go Spurs, go, as always. And what should I say? Have a fun and exciting playoffs. Thank you for watching.